Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're jumping into a topic that, if you're a parent or a teacher, you've probably seen firsthand. We're talking about that child who seems to have this boundless, non-stop physical energy. We're going to be talking all about something called psychomotor overexcitability. And just so you know, everything we're about to cover comes straight from the incredible insights and resources put together by Gifted Children South Africa. They're all about supporting these really unique young minds, so you know the information is top-notch. So let me just ask you, does this sound familiar at all? That kid with a powerful engine that just never seems to switch off. You know the one. They're fidgeting, they're pacing, talking a mile a minute. It's like they're powered by something that never, ever idles down. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are in exactly the right place. Okay, so how do we even begin to understand this intense energy? Well, we've got to start with a concept called overexcitabilities. And this is a really key idea because it helps us shift our thinking, right? We stop seeing this as a problem that needs to be fixed and start seeing it for what it is, a totally unique wiring that holds some incredible potential. This term, overexcitability, or OE for short, it comes from a Polish psychologist named Kazimierz Dabrowski. And what he was describing is basically an inborn heightened sensitivity of the nervous system. The best way to think about it is like the volume knob on their nervous system is turned way up. So they don't just experience things, they experience everything with so much more intensity and more often. And this isn't something they learn, it's just how they're built. Now, Dabrowski actually talked about 5 different kinds of OE. But for this explainer, we're really going to zoom in on just one, psychomotor overexcitability. And as the name kind of suggests, this is the one that shows up as that surplus of physical, antsy energy we've been talking about. And when you look at the signs, you'll see how recognizable they are. I mean, we're talking about constant movement, fidgeting, pacing, running around, that rapid-fire speech and big expressive gestures. They often have just tons of energy and don't seem to need as much sleep. This can also look like impulsivity or a really strong drive for action. And you might notice that under stress, it can pop up as nervous habits like nail biting. It's so much more than just being an active kid, you know? It's this deep, persistent drive that comes out through their body. And this is maybe the most important takeaway. We have to shift our perspective here. This energy isn't some behavioral flaw that needs to be suppressed or corrected. No way. It's a core feature of who they are, of how they're wired. It's actually part of their developmental potential, and when we learn how to harness it, it can fuel some absolutely incredible things. Okay, so this brings us to a really, really important point. We need to bust a common myth, because all these behaviors we just listed, they get confused with ADHD a lot, and that can lead to a really high risk of misdiagnosis. This chart does a great job of breaking it down. See, with psychomotor OE, that intense energy is often context-dependent. It gets way worse when they're bored, but it actually improves and can become laser-focused when they're really intellectually challenged. And the movement itself is often purpose-driven. It actually helps them think or release emotion. On the flip side, ADHD symptoms tend to be more consistent, more pervasive across all different settings. And it involves broader challenges with executive functions like planning and impulse control. So you can see they're really 2 different things. And why is getting this rate so important? Well, the stakes are incredibly high. Check this out. One analysis found that about 9.4% of gifted kids get diagnosed with ADHD. That's a much higher rate than the global average, which is around 5.3%. What does that tell us? It strongly suggests that a lot of kids who actually have OE are getting mislabeled. And that can lead down a path of unnecessary medication and, frankly, just lowered expectations for what they can achieve. All right, so if you're a parent and this is all sounding way too familiar, you're probably wondering, okay, what do I actually do? Let's get super practical. The goal here isn't to shut down the engine. It's all about learning how to help your child channel all that amazing power. And maybe the very first, most powerful thing you can do is reframe the conversation you have with them. You can say something just like this. Your body has extra energy that helps you think and do big things. It's like having a powerful engine. I mean, how great is that? It takes something they might feel embarrassed or ashamed about and turns it into their superpower. It tells them, I see you, what you're feeling is real, and it's actually a strength. So here's a simple 3-step approach you can use at home. Number 1 is what we just talked about. Reframe and validate. Accept this as part of who they are and use that positive language. Number 2, provide outlets. Seriously, don't fight their need to move. Work with it. Build movement into their day. Let them stand while doing homework. Lean into hands-on activities. And number 3, build a toolkit. This is about teaching them self-regulation. Introduce things like fidgets, deep breathing, or a solid wind-down routine before bed. Okay, so that's for parents. Now let's switch gears and talk about the classroom. Because teachers are absolutely on the front lines here. And honestly, the goal is pretty much the same. How do we transform this intensity into a powerful asset for learning instead of a disruption? And the approach for teachers looks really similar. First, reframe and educate. Normalize movement for the whole class. Talk about how some people just think better when they're moving. That totally reduces the stigma. Second, adjust the environment. This is huge. Think flexible seating like wobble stools or standing desks. Offer quiet fidget tools. And third, integrate movement. Build brain breaks into the day. Use kinesthetic learning activities that get kids up and moving. And give these kids purposeful jobs, like being a helper, to channel that energy productively. So you see, when we start doing this stuff, both at home and at school, the whole picture changes. We stop seeing a problem child, and we start to see a child who is just brimming with immense potential. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. This is not a flaw. It is a feature. This psychomotor overexcitability isn't some bug in their system. When we understand it, when we support it, this innate energy can fuel amazing achievement, unbelievable creativity, and real leadership. We're not fixing a problem, we are nurturing a strength. Which really leaves us with this one big question to think about, right? How can we help every child learn to conduct their powerful inner engine instead of just trying to quiet it down? The goal isn't to force them to be still. The real opportunity here is to teach them how to lead their own powerful inner orchestra. If you want to dive deeper into this, and I really hope you do, you've got to visit the Gifted Children South Africa website. It's giftedchildrensouthafrica.org. You can download all sorts of free resources there, check out their fantastic Spotify podcast series, and find all the links to their social media. It's an incredible hub of information. Thanks so much for tuning in for this explainer.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.